many of you have caught up in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, obviously.
No, not the last.
I still have to watch the very first episode.
Oh, you're a dick.
I'm not that far behind.
I'm like 2 episodes away from the last.
And we haven't all seen Rick and Morty.
I've seen
We're playing like a level playing field, don't we?
I've seen them all with Friends. Is that kind of... I've seen all 10 series of Friends.
I'm not talking to friends.
No, that definitely doesn't come up.
Not friends.
No, but Game of Thrones, I'm one of those ones that's like, what's the saying now, it's the new I'm a vegan. I don't watch Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? I just have no interest in it. Sorry.
Is that...
At least you're honest.
Is that like a...
I think I actually lost all interest once I know Sean Bean wasn't past the first series, to be honest with you. I was like, what's the point of investing in
Sean
him?
Bean, of course he wasn't getting past the first
I
series.
should know.
We all should have seen that coming.
It's fucking ridiculous now. If you watch anything that's been on, spoiler for everything, because knowing you now is going to take you years to catch up and watch this. So Declan, you're not too far off what's been coming on in this, so it's not as
Can I
bad.
just say before we get any further, I think there's going to be a couple of rules, but when it comes to spoilers, it's over fucking 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah. It's fair. No, it's fair
By
game.
the way, like Rachel does get off the plane. Just referencing back to that.
That's
You have to. No, but if you watch the first season and then you watch the recent season of Game of Thrones, it's just fucking ridiculous to even think. It's like,
what's budget and all?
Like, do you remember what happened with the first couple of Harry Potter films? You look at the difference of the first two, and then you go look at the last. Holy fuck! So
it's like, you have to wait a year now.
Yeah,
maybe 2.
What?
Yeah, it may not come out to 2019.
God love you.
I hope it doesn't. Like that company.
Do you know what that?
Do you know what?
Focus on writing the book.
Yeah, surpassing the books.
Oh,
he can't even catch up.
Well, they're gonna be different now. Like, so we're gonna get 2 different sort of ends because he's not gonna copy.
He's just gonna throw them. Maybe just write something different. Going, no, I don't like that.
If it's not know. I mean, I'm only going on speculation. But like, I'd really, really rather like if we wait 2 years for the show. So what? Like, we get the book out.
It might be worth it.
That's gonna be far.
If it's that long, does that not suggest that it's because of rendering effects? That if the film,
there's stuff that they want to put on screen,
it's going to take a while.
So I've seen it.
I don't know why there would be a delay. I'm just saying that is the talk.
The talk of the time.
I don't know if it's technical. I don't know if it's just to fuck people over. Like,
keep them, in suspense for 2 years. Like, it'll pay off.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think they leaked that episode on their own. Episode 4.
Yeah. For the buzz.
Yeah, big time. Because it was released on a Saturday, like when fucking all the bloggers are home and off for the weekend, and it just started the most ungodly fucking buzz that you'd ever heard. That's not a
conspiracy. That's how people in that kind of business and marketing work. You know what I mean? They let them
or they just have the worst security ever.
Well, that too.
Well, I don't know. Because
one or the other.
Well,
you know what I mean?
That episode came out no bother. It was just leaked, and that was that. But then the next 2 episodes were the ones that were held at ransom. Do you remember this? They were like, we are going to fucking leak these unless you give us. I think they were looking for 2 million American, and they came back and were like, we'll give you 250k. I don't know then if they leaked or not. I can't remember because I just watched them on TV. Sometimes I don't even get watching it to the Tuesday.
Like holding the ransom. Like
hackers.
Mel Gibson and Renee Russo. Did you ever see that ransom?
Oh, brilliant!
I just thought of it there. You're getting the episodes back.
And thing from CSI in it, isn't it? Your man from CSI is the kidnapper, isn't it?
Which one?
CSI New York.
CSI
New York. Yeah. Fucking Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan.
Fucking George.
Yeah.
In Of Mice and Men.
Yeah.
Worst book ever.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Well, tied with a Great Gatsby.
He's a detective.
It's a great scene at the end of that where Mel Gibson's got a son with him, like he's back and all that kind of shit, and then they bump into him, and the son just fucking freaks, and all of a sudden it cuts to this piss trail coming out of the son's trousers, and you're just like, and Mel just stands there, just like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I was trying to think of the guy from Forrest Gump. That's how I know.
Yeah.
What else did you say?
I know what you're talking about now.
He's got that. Yeah, you said Dominican, didn't you?
Yeah, Lieutenant Dan. Fucking different. Well, before everyone gets completely confused what we're at, we've been talking about ransom.
Right, so back in Game of Thrones, there was it?
Maybe divert off the Game of Thrones. Let everyone know what's going on here.
Yeah,
so
we'll just leave it for a couple of podcasts. Like, I know you're not going to catch up, like, but
I will. How many series is there? 7 series to catch up on?
7 series, like hour-long episodes.
A little bit of engine.
Hour-long episodes.
It's one of those kind of shows where you can't just breeze over it. Unfortunately,
It's on the background.
Because I honestly, like, I've watched every single episode that's come out. I'm not one of those diehard. I'll wait until a few days after to watch it. I'm not buzzing to watch it, but for each season as it comes along, how many different movies, TV shows, podcasts, albums, everything you have to watch and listen to and consume in between those seasons. So when you come back on, it's kind of going, I can't remember these names. I always get fucked up by saying this one. There's no simple names like John. It's like, yeah, there's Jon Snow, but everyone else's names like Tormund and fucking Khaleesi and trying to remember all these names and so and so of the so and so family. It's just like it's hard to keep engaged with that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm glad at least we've got some fucking nice characters to follow.
I had to watch season 1 at least 3 times before I knew that Theon wasn't actually a Stark.
Oh yes,
That was not like there was loads of stuff in it that was really shittily explained. It's the same in the fucking books as well. Like you just launch into a new chapter in the book and it'll be somebody completely brand new.
How much of the books have you read?
The whole lot.
Okay, well here's something as well. You've read most of some sort of comparison. You've read some of the Harry Potter books and stuff. You've read them all, have you not? Yeah.
I haven't read the first two.
Okay, so comparing both of those kind of things to what they did in the books compared to on screen, is it actually?
I have to say, season 1 of
really?
Game of Thrones is a fucking brilliant adaptation of a Game of Thrones, the book. Like for 10 episode season, for however long that book is, like I mean, it has to cut a lot of shit.
Like 7 hours in the first season, so. But
I
think with TV show, you have a lot more time to work with to adapt something.
See, I've never seen a Harry Potter movie. Like I've read all the books, or as you said, Cursed Child.
I love the books and I love the films. But
I hated the films a bit. Like
I think the films can exist on their own. Like don't get me wrong, there's some stuff in the films you're like, oh, why did they cut that?
No,
why that could have been perfect for the film. But you're under a certain. But again, they're not really 3 hours long anyway. But there's so much more in the books, like with everything, I suppose. Like but I didn't mind the films as I wouldn't really say as adaptations, but as their own.
Well,
thing.
they're going to be anyway. When you put that, I mean, only from my perspective, when you're seeing it put into a film, it's going to be completely different. You can't. You just can't.
Well, it's just great actors, great performances, and like as I said, there are a lot of people don't like the books maybe or don't like the films as much as the books, but there's people that haven't read the books and only seen the films.
Yeah, like myself.
And they love them just as much. Do you know what I mean? So maybe they can.
I just didn't like the first couple of movies, and then I was like, you know what?
Well, that's what Carl was saying earlier on. It's like
first two,
Secrets is very childlike, very family.
Oh yeah,
really
and as soon as Prisoner of Azkaban it starts getting very dark and gritty, and Prisoner of Azkaban's unreal.
But then I just didn't bother watching it anymore than I just thought, fuck, I'm just gonna keep these to the books.
I've seen them.
I think I've seen Azkaban.
Yeah,
I can't remember it.
I stopped
and then past that,
Blood Prince. I haven't seen that one yet. That's why I'm like 3 away.
That's the third last film, yeah.
So have you read the books? Do you know all the correct?
No. My perspective as a film buff.
Yeah.
I would
as
say
a film buff.
I would consider myself. So I would.
Well, my point then, not to try and ruin anything on you, is that there's a couple of deaths that happen that I have no need to see on screen. Thank you very much. It's already fucking horrendous enough up here. Yeah, for a couple of them it definitely is. Like always, we'll talk about it outside after. But like, there's just a couple that I don't. No.
Oh, it's just
I'd rather not.
The point was making was it's just there's several books that have been adapted into films, and a lot of the criticism. I don't really know any films that have been adapted from books where everyone agrees consensus. Like, yeah, that's right from the source material. There's so many films that change. There's actually examples of films where you look at the book and the story is completely different when it comes to the film. Like my favorite film, What Dreams May Come, the story in the book is completely different.
Screenplay.
I'd say about 89% of the book is not in the film.
Yeah.
As in, it's completely
more
changed.
Yeah.
More of the tone and the characters' names and so forth have been carried over, but there's a lot of different. I love the story in the book, but I love watching the film. What's come onto it?
What's this called?
What Dreams May Come. With Robin Williams, Cuba Gooding Jr. and Van Zandt. But I was just trying to think. Like, it's kind of restricted. There's only been one adaptation of the Game of Thrones books into TV or film so far, right? Lord of the Rings had the wee cartoon and like the major fucking film. So when you look back at the cartoon, you're kind of like, what? It's just completely different on it. So I think there's a bit of a restraint now. The Harry Potter books, you've only seen one adaptation of it, so would it be something more interesting for you to see someone that's actually 100% to the book on screen?
Remaking it again, like remaking it, but do it.
Yeah, reboot or
almost like 2 parts to one film.
like, is it going to ruin? Like, I'd say a lot of people like I only watched the films myself recently. I've only watched it to film, as I said, it's definitely like a film buff to try and get into and watch it. Like, I enjoyed Chamber of Secret more than anything else because it was just
stole it.
Lockhart stole it for me.
Yeah.
Just this fucking ridiculous lie, I love him to bits, and I got so let down because I came back at the. He is Zap Brannigan. Yeah. It's fucking brilliant. But shout out to our old history teacher, Mr. Quinn.
Yeah, well, the Harry Potter movies don't went and shot themselves in the foot with that Fantastic Beast. Shit.
I got 10 minutes in.
Yeah. It's an abomination.
I'm glad you kind of agreed with that. I didn't want to be the only one.
No.
I
will not stand the ceremony.
That actor, I've seen him in a couple of films and he's pretty good.
The young fella?
Yep.
Oh no, yeah.
He's a great actor.
That's why I watched it.
The Hawk Lord.
Yes. He was in he was in
calling him the Hawk in AT crowd.
I was trying to think, what character from Harry Potter? Hawk Lord?
No.
Is he not playing?
I did watch. That was the first one I watched.
How bad is Fantastic Beasts? Like,
yeah, the pace.
I got 10 minutes in, and that was it.
It focuses on certain effects more than the actual. I don't know.
He doesn't say a word for 45 minutes.
There's a lot
he
of
doesn't
that.
say a word for 45
oh,
minutes, making all these fucking animal noises, magic animal noises, and fucking tweeting and not tweeting.
I can imagine going into it thinking it's going to be a film to set up the series. Like,
but it does. You haven't even seen the end of it then.
No, I watched the movie, and do you remember even at the end of the movie, the climax? You're watching.
It's so cack-handed. Who directed that? Like, they couldn't direct their finger up their hole. Oh my god.
So I couldn't wait for it.
Go away, Johnny Depp.
He
fucking shows up. What do you call Dumbledore's roommate?
Grindelwald.
Bingo.
So
it's literally it's the most. Are you gonna watch it or can I just have it?
I haven't watched it, but go ahead.
It's just literally so cack-handed. So for the whole show, you're running about with Colin Farrell, who's this bit of a dick, and he's trying to stop our hero from fucking running about loose in New York with all these crazy animals. You know what I mean? It's just a man doing his job. He's not allowed to have all them fucking magical creatures. Like, it's illegal. And we're supposed to root for this fucking illegal animal importer. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So then, with about 5 minutes left of the movie, no, actually about 15, because there's that incredible. Oh my god, I'll get on to it in a second. But Colin Farrell literally just turns into Johnny Depp before your eyes, like, and he's all there's so much makeup and all, and it's just like, oh, Johnny Depp in makeup, what a fucking shock! We've never seen that before.
Yeah,
I'm so shocked that he's wearing makeup because he never does it.
Johnny Depp is being disguised as Colin Farrell in this film.
Yeah.
But that's his true character. So Colin Farrell's just a fake disguise in this film.
Yeah.
For Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like Colin Farrell is one of the more interesting bits of the movie. Not that there's much. What about the love interest? She is crap. She has the personality of the floor. It is.
That was my pain because I was watching with my girlfriend and she said the exact same thing. She was just like, "This woman, you ruined this movie for me. I just enjoyed it."
You know what I mean? That guy obviously failed Snape's class because there was no chemistry going on there.
Well, yeah.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, just top class joke.
So the future is Jude Law is going to be the younger Dumbledore, isn't it?
Is that
Jude Law is
I'm never going to watch it.
I'm more raging than I remember that night specifically because I went and bought a shitload of munch. I think we both did. We just got a load of good food together. Like, right, we'll watch this movie. Like,
yeah,
fantastic. We should watch something else.
Ruined the whole night.
No, not really. No.
Well, do you know what I was going to say as well? So, if we roll it back for 2 seconds, we're talking about adaptations.
Yeah.
Do you know what is, without a shadow of a doubt, the worst adaptation ever of a book?
Yeah.
Has to be World War Z.
I like the film. I haven't read the book.
No, I haven't read the book.
I don't think it's Barry, is it?
No. The book is like fucking sheer genius. What have you done with that microphone?
He's reacted. Go for it.
We've got an earthquake.
Is that it?
Tremors.
No, but have you seen World War Z?
For anyone that has been, for anyone that hasn't noticed,
don't do not.
Just on my own, so that I don't get.
I like the theme tune. World War Z's opening theme. It's pretty tight.
Right. Well, that must be the best thing about it, like, because it is horrendous. Like, with about I don't know who directed that shit show.
Not by Slim.
No, it's the fact that they actually ran out of money at the end, and they've been all over the world, some amazing effects, and all of a sudden you're in like Wales or Glasgow or something.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck?
Obviously
It looks like it was.
the budget, like.
It looks like it was filmed in a tech. It was
Go to
just.
Wales, mate.
Yeah, it's just as horrible looking.
But in that movie, right? That's why I'm asking who directed this, like, because with 15 minutes to go, Brad Pitt is fucking horrendously locked in a building full to the teeth of zombies. Like, right? This building is zombie fucking central, right? And Brad Pitt picks up this fucking bright red fire axe, you know, like for chopping down doors and event of fire, like, and it's bright red, like, so it's in your fucking face. You know, you cannot miss this fucking axe, and you're like, bingo. Brad Pitt swinging that fucking axe at a load of zombies, wrecking his way out of this building and saving everyone, and then that's my £7 worth. Not a fucking mission. Doesn't swing it once in the 15 minutes that follow. It's crazy the way they put it together. In the end, he infects himself with a load of diseases, right? And then the zombies can't smell him anymore, and he just walks out the front door. It is shockingly bad, like.
Is that effectively not what Shaun of the Dead, Shaun all did in Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah.
They just pretended to be zombies.
Are you going to give Shaun of the Dead shit?
Absolutely not.
That's alright. That's alright. Batman soundtrack. No.
Dire Straits. But there was you're talking World War Z. There was one bit in a zombie film. The one way you don't want to go is just there's one way. You know when they landed in the plane somewhere and had a scientist with them.
Yeah.
And they were making their way out and stuff, but then there were zombies
Hold
killing
on, a
them.
scientist.
Everybody get back in the fucking plane!
Yeah.
And stuff. But then your boy ran up one and slipped on the
Oh
left
yes.
and then shot himself as he
Yes.
failed. You're like, really? In a zombie film, that's the way you're going to go out.
It's the shittest plot device
Like,
I've ever heard of.
think so. And 10 minutes before that, the guy was giving this big backstory, and like how his wife or his kids and this and that. Oh God, love him. A few minutes later, he fucking shoots himself. Dumb bastard, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
That movie just hadn't a clue what to do with itself.
It's just a plot device.
Too much
What
money,
was his name?
not enough sense. You see the book though? The book was fucking awesome. The book is one of the. It's like it jumps around all over the world, so you see like mad shit going on in all different walks of life. But it would have been far better because
But they ran out of money.
there's this ridiculous scene in the book where it shoots up to the boys on the International Space Station and they're just looking down at it like it's just fucking horrendous. And I was just like, that would be the shot of the movie.
That should have been the trailer.
That would be the shot of the movie because what are those guys gonna fucking do? Like,
He ended up in Cardiff.
so, but I don't know. That movie was literally just a fucking 2 hour long advert for Pepsi. I just come out of that going, Jesus, I'm thirsty.
So what product placement?
Fuck! Oh man, you cannot walk through an abandoned building for there being 18 working Pepsi machines. The apocalypse is broken out. Why are all them fucking lights on? Like,
Brad Pitt beads of sweat and everything. Standing in his underpants. No.
but then hey, I tell you one thing though, South Park fucking nailed them over.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's the only reference point I can make.
Yeah, no, they nailed it. Like,
again, I was talking to Niall off camera or off this
Off
South
mic.
Park. Yeah. You don't really watch it, so you didn't know what I was mentioning earlier on about South Park. What did I mention earlier?
Somebody changed Cameron.
Yeah, sort of that. Yeah.
very, very definite there in your answer. Like, give him a lot to work. Give him a lot to work with.
Yeah, that looks like forever those. But no, South Park did a good job of like taking a piss out of World War Z. Very Cartman like doing all these voices and stuff. But like, it looks funny. Like, but
And tying it in with the fucking
I
George
think I get the
Zimmerman
idea.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's just,
I actually like World War Z, but to me, my favourite zombie films would have to be Shaun of the Dead, and then when we call them zombies, we're not going to get into that debate, but 28 days later.
I would say it counts, yeah.
have you seen The Girl with All the Gifts?
Somebody's telling me about that.
Oh, boys, if you like zombie movies, you are in for a fucking treat.
Well, I don't, but I'll watch it
It's,
anyway.
there's some amazing bits to it. Like, it's like fucking turns it a bit on its head. Like, and but like there's just some sequences in it that
Girl with
are
All the
fucking,
Gifts.
yeah. And the music's unbelievable. The music is by this weird fella. He's Dutch. I can't think of his name. It's like Christoph de something. But he did the music for this TV show called Utopia. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
it. Oh my god, it's literally the best thing ever. Bore the wire. Like, it's just
What was it?
10 out of 10. Yeah, no doubt. But he does the music for Girl with All the Gifts as well. And I'm just telling you, get it watched. In for a fucking
I like
treat.
a good soundtrack that helps. You know.
Yeah, it's like weird. It's like a weird mix of like classical and dubstep. It's fucking bananas. Like,
It suits the kind of same vibe for like Black Mirror and stuff.
yeah,
kinda works
yeah.
for
Touch
that.
points.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Black Mirror and stuff. And
Well-
yeah, but Girl with All the Gifts. Like,
But along with
like
yourselves
it.
here, I don't know, generally I'm not a big fan of horror films whatsoever. There's nothing in the last couple of years that's really jump scares is one thing. Anyone can get jump scared. Fuck that. It doesn't mean you're actually terrified of a thing or creeped out or anything. But
I've seen these, but people, they're not really scared anymore to make you think.
Yeah.
I watched that It Follows not too long ago, and then the Babadook.
The Babadook one was pretty good.
They're more making you think.
Yeah.
And going, like, I love that shit.
Yeah.
The Babadook.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good from what I remember.
It's just the shadow effects stuff.
Shyamalan. You ever seen the? I'm not really going to talk about Split because I don't know if you've seen it. Have you?
No, it's on my list.
Yeah,
But it's just
but
There's a spoiler. Like I'm not going to say it to you. I don't know if you've heard that.
I heard. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You drop it.
Yeah. Well, we just throw it in.
Yeah.
It's a Split's part of the Unbreakable universe.
Yeah.
I thought it was badass. I thought it was pretty tight. I didn't see that coming at all. But going back to the film before Shyamalan, that was more of The Visit. It was a horror / wee bit of comedy on it.
Didn't see it.
It's a fine footage. It's like a camcorder, so it might not be up your street, but it's actually a film that you're like Shyamalan's wee bit back on this.
What was that?
Like 5 million budget.
What was that one he did with Marky Mark with all the plants? Was that a comedy or was that The Happening? Was that a comedy?
It's fucking shit.
It is it is crap. But are you supposed to take it as a comedy, or are you supposed to sit there and go, he's talking to a plant? Like, see if you watch,
To the bush, and the bush talks to
I
the
didn't
trees.
even.
like you can
Watch
accept
that, like-
Tom Hanks sitting on the screen for an hour and a half talking to a football, not a bother,
Yeah.
without question. It's the highlight of the fucking film. You know,
He's the best supporting actor.
done. But that I just no. I watched most of it just like, what's the joke here?
I think at the start of it, I think you get the twist away in the first 8 minutes.
Yep.
It's the environment. The environment's taken back. And I like the idea of it, but it's just really.
It's shots of
the
grass
script was terrible,
blowing.
and
Yeah.
then your eye woman just putting her forehead. Silly bitch.
But have you found any decent horror films? Because the last horror film I watched,
I watched the Blair Witch. I know I
Well-
don't know very wrong. Blair Witch, the original Blair Witch project. I think it's a very you either like it or you hate it. A lot of people don't like it.
Marmite.
It's like more about it's fine footage. I think goes back to fine footage. You can like fine footage, you don't. But the new Blair Witch is kind of it's more of the same, but they're trying to expand a wee bit more. It's going without spoiling anything. It's the plot of it is just it's the relative of the girl in the original. He's going back in the trying to find her and stuff, and that's it.
as long as it doesn't end with some dude in a flannel shirt staring at a wall, we're grand. You know what I mean?
I only reason
Shot for shot.
I like the director was Alan Wingard.
Yeah.
He did that new Death Note. I haven't watched that new Death Note yet.
I think we're going to get into that as well. But is
What's
there another
the
one
same
called
director?
Before I Wake? Was that one that we were talking about beforehand?
I think you brought that up in the last one.
I just can't remember much of that.
Before I Wake.
There's a lot of that's the problem with these horror movies.
Yeah.
I just don't come back. I can't really recall them.
That was
Just like-
fall in. Like I get confused with Insidious and Sinister sometimes.
And The Conjuring, all those kind of ones kind of mix in together.
Yeah.
It's kind of, they all look the same
Yeah.
as well.
Do you think I'd get that? I get that feeling.
I don't really watch horror movies. Only in the last sort of year, I will go to the cinema and watch them, like, and just have a night at cinema. Like, I will watch them on my own. Like, it's just you're paying to get scared. Like, so
Oh, it's
when
the
you're
opposite.
scared, you're getting your money's worth.
No.
But I've seen a couple of good ones recently. Yeah, It Comes at Night is fucking really creepy, and it leaves you with so many more questions than answers. Like, doesn't fucking let anything away, and it's just real tense for the whole thing. And there was one bit, honest to God, like it was one bit towards the start, and I was like, oh fuck, like if it stays this scary, I don't know if I could stay, like,
Well-
because it was like proper fucking holy fuck, what is going on here, like. And honestly, you just do not know what the crack is at any point.
The only film I've ever got, like, going back to horror films, many horror films seen in the cinema, I could probably count them on my hand.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, but I think it's because of my age. The Others, seeing The Others in the cinema.
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Ghost Story. It was probably, I'm looking to go at the Ghost Story, not a horror movie. It's
Yes,
a ghost story.
that's a
So
good
it's-
idea.
And it was just, I remember this, the bed that.
Yeah.
And the twist was lethal. I thought the twist was pretty cool.
Now, the twist in that film compared to, say, like Sixth Sense or
Yeah.
fucking anything else, right? Or 12 Monkeys, I get that, right? It's one of those films, well, that once you see the others, just kind of like, I've never rewatched it, because you're sitting there going, like, even with other films, like, I know the end, I know there's a big twist thing, but you can still enjoy everything else. But that film, I can only watch it once.
Not to. It's
Yeah.
like that big reveal, and once you've seen it, it's like, it's like, we want to reference with Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
I watched that not too long ago, the first time in 10 years, and you go back to it and you're like, really, like, the fact haven't really aged well, and the effects and all that, but dodgy, you're like, I'm scared of that when I was younger. You know? But horror movies these days, they're very hit and miss. So, like, it's either Demon Children. That's good English. That's good England.
Yeah.
So it is. But Demon Children, or I don't know. I want to see that Nun. The Nun.
I just don't know about anything getting possessed.
Yeah.
That does that.
Well,
it's all possessions.
there is a good example at the last.
Stuff too much.
I know, yeah. Like,
There's other ways to freak you out, you know.
that's why I like something different with It Follows and the Babadook. The Babadook was based on like what? The Babadook was pretty much a picture book, like Monster from
Yeah,
coming out, and It Follows. I think was pretty much.
What's up
It
with
Follows
the
was actually
child
sexually transmitted
psychology?
disease. Have you seen It Follows?
Yeah.
I just trying to remember most of it. But I remember watching. Have you seen it yourself?
No.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I'll not be running out of here to watch horror
What do you
movies.
want?
No,
What do you
it's
want?
I think you might like
What
it.
are you talking about? The Babadook?
Yeah, I remember
Spoiler
finishing
away.
watching and going, that was pretty good. Like, I just
I
tried to
loved it. And what was it? Like, look, reading into it, well, supposedly it's a metaphor for what
child psychology. Yeah, that's
stuff.
what it was. That was the element of the movie. I was like, when you learn that in the movie, you're like, that's pretty well done. You know what I mean? Good plot
They
device.
get that in the-
Plot
what was it?
devices.
I think it was New Zealand, was it? It was a New Zealand film, was it?
Yeah.
It's Australian or something.
Australian, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was fringing on
I
it.
don't want any Kiwis
No, I
coming
don't.
onto us going to New Zealand.
Yeah, geography wise,
Yeah.
we don't need that.
No, sorry, guys. But the Babadook was great, and It Follows. I recommend It Follows because I think the metaphor for that was it. Carl, I think you're the only one at the table that's seen it.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Which one?
It Follows.
Again, you'll have to give me
Well, again, I will not really go into too much of it, but I think it's
Go on, tell me.
a lot of people say it's a metaphor for fucking a sexually transmitted disease, like you know, because then you try and pass it on to someone else, and then it follows you
Yeah.
and stuff. And then
right.
it's a really interesting sort of topic for a horror movie sort of thing, and you're not going to be sitting there going jumping every 5 minutes. It's
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, think peace. Yeah.
I
It's
know.
like
I
that,
watched
you know.
a fucking shitty horror movie, and the fucking the demon fucking monster in it was the Canker Man or something.
Cankerman.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell's in this film.
No, but it was supposed to be for
Was this like something
cancer.
real low budget?
It's
Like,
no, is this
No.
like a decent kind of budget?
Cankerman. That was
Canker
like
Man means cancer. It's to do with cancer. You know what I mean? It's like that's
yes.
the plot device in it. It was like it was all to do with someone's illness. I think it's the child's mum or something. It was all like to do with that, and you're just like, really? I know you're left to go on like, I'm not going with this scary demon because it sounds ridiculous for a story.
Cankerman.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's horrible. I know. I swear to God, I'm listening going, I watched it with my arms crossed like, Canker Man.
I watched it with my arms
Right.
crossed.
Let's see where this goes. Like, this is
So was that what it was called, the Cankerman?
No, it was called something else. Just remember that was the name of the monster in that movie. I was just like, really? Like,
and it was big budget, like
decent budget. Like,
Huge budget. Man.
like what I like to do when it comes to, I know they're not really horror movies, like, but to see when you're flicking through the TV channels, like, I never don't put what's on sci-fi on for a couple of minutes, like Lava Lantula or Mega Shark versus Octo Python. You know what I mean? Like, there is. Do you know what it is? I've actually never seen one of the Sharknadoes, but I'm sure they're fucking brilliant. Like, was there one about there was one about camel spiders? Was that one?
The only one I've sat and watched in full is the first one of those, which was the Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. Because I remember always watching the trailer. There's some guy on a plane, and all of a sudden he turns around and sees a shark jump in the air. Made no sense.
The guy on the plane.
Like it's out of nowhere.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's something when they get in submarine.
Yeah, it rises. She rises, or that's what it is. Yeah.
Watch that trailer.
Religiously,
Fucking flat out. Like,
because we
it
thought.
can't be real.
Yeah, we thought it was one of the.
Fucking
Yeah.
it was.
It reminds me of the trailer. You think back on, was that real?
Yeah.
A trailer with Gary Oldman called Twinkle Toes, was it, or Tiptoes?
Yeah. Referencing that, man.
Gary
What is this
Gary
movie?
Oldman plays a dwarf in it, and it's proper drama. Like I think it's a drama romantic comedy sort of, but he plays a dwarf in it.
What? Is this real?
No, you
You
don't do
literally,
that.
literally watching the trailer thinking, is this something from like SNL or something like a fake
Right.
sort of thing? But you should.
Well, it's real.
Tiptoe.
It's real.
Now, can we try and get that on?
Tiptoe.
Maybe.
Just get
Here.
talking about it.
Have any of you seen
Oh,
Beaver,
man.
the Beaver? There's another one, the Mel Gibson film. I thought that was bullshit. I thought that was fake. And then I watched the film.
What is it?
and
No,
it's
I've never seen that shit.
It's a funny.
he's
Foster, right?
running the toy firm, and he fucking goes nuts as usual.
It's
And he finds his beaver marionette puppet thing in the trash, and he starts talking through it, and he puts on a voice, and he's like, "Oh, you're not." Kind of voice the whole way through it, and he's just talking away to it. And he's doing these like business meetings in suits with his fucking thing in his hand. It's you're watching
That
it.
sounds crazy.
Yeah.
This is
What's
Riggs.
it called?
This is Riggs coming back
The
after all.
Beaver.
Yeah, the Beaver.
The Beaver.
Yeah,
It's directed by Jimmy Falls, so much as I heard all the jokes.
man, it was just. It's one of those films where you're sitting there going like, "Is this like he owes someone money?" It's kind of one of those ones. You're just like, well, like
It was his comeback for one of per se. Like,
it was the first thing Riggs did since all the fucking Jew hating. That's the first thing he's come back from. Man, he's always Riggs in my heart.
I didn't mind Mel Gibson. Like, he had his moments, but we'll move on from that.
Have they extolled the virtues of the Lethal Weapon TV show on any news?
No,
Not yet.
no. Give us a hit.
Man, the Lethal Weapon TV show is fucking great. This just in, like, but man, look, it's never gonna win any Emmys or any shit like that there.
No.
But like, the fucking tune in for 45 minutes and watch Riggs and Murtaugh get at it, like, and fucking
Get at
Murtaugh
it.
is Michael Caine. Fucking Murtaugh is Michael Caine from My Wife and Kids, like.
But what are they
What do you want?
Are they trying to?
The dad.
remake-
Yeah,
No way.
yeah.
He loves that show, but
And
it's always on fucking.
That works.
It's always on what, 4 Music or whatever you call it.
yeah, but you need to watch from the start and get the story and get real involved. And Riggs is fucking trying to rebuild himself after his wife's death, like possible murder.
Dun, dun, dun.
Gets well into that whole side of things, and they're fucking about with the cartel.
See-
but everything's, they always solve a case every week, like, you know, sort of. It's not like every fucking 45 minutes there's another fucking bad guy in handcuffs in there that's like bingo. So sad.
Right. See, I thought it was gonna be like season 1 is the first film. I thought it was gonna be like that. I was like, man, I can't wait for season 3 because the third film's the best.
Well, I don't know what
much
it's
for me.
going to shape up. But it got renewed for season 2, so
What about Beverly Hills Cop?
they did have a TV show.
It was not like supposed to be in
Well,
production.
that
or
was
pilot got
rumored
made
that,
or something.
Yeah, it was
but
going
yeah,
to come back, and Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy was going to come back as Axel Foley, like. But
I
I don't
think
know how many comebacks are we going to give Eddie Murphy. At least one more. At least one.
he's got one more Shrek movie in him. The fuck.
If he makes another movie as bad as fucking Tower Heist, there's
Oh,
serious
Jesus.
questions
Daddy
asked.
Daycare.
Hey, Daddy Daycare's a good show. Leave off.
Daddy
Daddy Daycare is not
He
up
should.
for discussion.
Yeah.
Well, he made that album. Was it with that tune Red Lights and all? It was pretty fucking good. With
Who?
Snoop Dogg and all. Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Made a tune with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
And it was good.
It's like reggae kind of shit. It's fucking class.
Oh, was this in his Snoop Lion period?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But it works. But so it is branching out. But
Well, look, Lethal Weapon TV show.
So this,
Get on it, like.
this thing you've been on about, you've been harping about this thing for years, and I've never seen any.
What is this?
I think I found
This is
it.
That's
That's
cool.
the description to go with.
This is Gary Oldman
This
playing
is
a
Gary
dwarf.
Oldman and Twinkle Toes.
I think they're trying to list it as like a comedy, so I think Matthew McConaughey's in it.
the reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance.
I still think the Jim Carrey rip-offs
Yeah.
are far, far better than
Unreal,
yeah,
yeah.
the booger and all. Have you seen them?
Oh,
The SNL
what?
skits. There was the Lincoln Continental adverts that came out in America about
Oh,
Matthew
he's
McConaughey.
driving.
He's driving them all quiet and voiceover and shit. Basically, almost like a wee clip out of True Detective, and then all of a sudden, SNL did a version where Jim Carrey looked exactly like him, same kind of car and all. He's talking shit, but he's just doing this. And he's like, I'm actually rolling a burger. It's just like there's a snot in his hand, he's just rolling it and all that. But
I hope it's worth it.
Carol and Stephen's life together was perfect.
I've got to get going.
Right this second.
you're 90s.
Hey, baby.
Hey, sweetie. I love you.
There's one small problem.
Hi, I'm Ralph. What the fuck? We're twins.
Are your parents,
Yeah.
It can tear them apart,
I think you're gonna let me know that everyone in your family's a midget.
They're not midgets, Carol. They're dwarfs.
Whatever.
or bring them together.
Hey, welcome. I'm Stephen.
Ah, there you are. This is Stephen's father, Bruno, and his mom, Kathleen. And over behind the bar is Stephen's brother, Rolf.
You could have prepared us for this, don't you think?
If you embarrass me, I'll never speak to you again, so just get it together.
How's everybody?
I think maybe I'm pregnant.
When the going gets rough, it's only the size of your heart that counts.
Oh no.
It wasn't that big of a deal if our kid was a dwarf.
You knocked up this great girl and you didn't tell her that her baby's probably got to be not like you.
We are so cute and
cuddly. Don't discriminate against us.
No, definitely a joke.
When was this out?
I'm sure a lot of midgets around.
You better back off, Goldie Hawn. My man can do what he wants to do.
What's it about?
I'm ready for an adult relationship.
What is this man doing in your bedroom?
It's dwarf washing like in this. Just cast the dwarf.
A walk down the aisle.
Stephen's a very lucky guy. Just hope he's
smart enough not to screw it up.
Is just
And the camera angles are harsh in this.
Horrible.
Yeah, it's all white shots.
Canal Plus
It's
and Magnet
ridiculous.
Productions proudly present command
Proudly, you
performances
hear
from
that?
Kate Beckinsale, Matthew McConaughey,
McConaughey.
Patricia Arquette, and in the role of a lifetime,
You quoted
Role
that
of a
line.
lifetime.
You can't quote that line.
Fuck off.
Jones.
Serious Black? Fuck off. This is the rule for life.
No.
That's ridiculous.
Get the fuck
I
watched
can't
it
be
yet,
real. Like,
Okay, for anyone interested
Oh.
that just heard that, Niall, please explain what that film was, and where to find it.
That was a trailer called, it's all on YouTube here, called Tiny Tiptoes. It's listed as on YouTube, but it's not called Tiny Tiptoes, it's called Tiptoes. I don't know why they are tiny, but it's Tiptoes with Gary Oldman, Matthew McConaughey, and we found out, I think, back in 10 years ago, we were sitting in class, and we came across these random videos, we were like, is this serious?
So, let me understand this. Is Gary Oldman
Roll of a life.
Matthew McConaughey's dad?
It's his brother. It's brother.
Okay.
It's his dad.
So Matthew McConaughey's not small in this film?
No, he's the only one out of the midget family that's not a midget.
Right.
They're not midget.
So it's like,
Yeah, they're not midgets, sorry.
Get right now.
is it like
Not much
not,
to fear, no?
a Nutty Professor vibe about it, or what's going on with it? Or
I don't know, I think it's a romantic comedy, but then with the music you think they're actually going fully serious.
It's very misleading.
Role of a lifetime. Did that really have to throw it? Were they taking the piss?
Notice how they did mention Oscar winner Gary Oldman. You know what I mean?
Role of a lifetime.
Yeah.
It looks like a TV movie. It looks like
It does.
TV.
It looks like
it looks like it could be on TV for
no
or
true
Sunday or Bank Holiday Monday. Or something.
true movies on Sky.
True movies.
True
Think about it,
movies.
They didn't have to really. What would the budget be for?
For that?
Yeah.
Like look at his makeup. Like he literally looks like there's not much
Yeah.
makeup on him. It
It's
looks like he
incredible.
literally looks like he's just sitting on his knees
No.
somewhere in some chance, like and just green screen.
I wonder what the budget was because they must have done some sort of job.
They worked it out.
Just their fees,
That's a terrible
guaranteed.
looking movie. They must have put a lot of that money in their back pockets. London.
Tiptoes. Budget.
I don't understand that one at all. Why anyone
That's
green
my
light that
role.
kind of a
That's
film?
my role.
I think we're just trying to recover from what we just think.
that's it. Like, there's.
You know when the budget's not on Wikipedia, you know they haven't disclosed that information.
Or no one really gives a fucking shit.
Yeah, it's listed as a.
Is it on Netflix?
Could be.
There's something. Well, there's some
If it was
homework.
on Netflix. Fucking Joe.ie would have written an article about it by now.
True.
Fucking four of them.
And
Have to read them all to get the full
imagine they
crack.
got
Yeah.
half a star. You know, we just be like, oh.
Does that not seem like one of those films you get free? Remember the films you used to get with a DVD player? You get like 8 free movies.
Yes.
Like George Clooney's first movie or something.
That's
It's
how,
like,
Emilio Estevez's full career post Mighty Ducks, like, that's what he used to
Why
see
is he
that.
called Estevez and his dad and his brother?
Fucking well, he was very naughty.
Oh, was it?
I don't fucking
I
know.
suppose he just-
What about his fucking
I
biographer?
think he just wanted to stay sad.
They happened to
He was like, I'm not really that.
Charlie was like,
Charlie had the ball, forget that. And full blown Megan.
Charlie Sheen. But where's he these days? He's still fucking winning.
I don't think so.
Is he not? He has a TV show, but it looks like the worst thing that there's ever been
Anger
on TV.
Management or something.
I don't understand the appeal, really.
I don't really
anymore.
either,
I
no.
did when he was younger, and like he was cast.
I didn't understand the hype about years ago, that whole lot winning thing. But he did an interview, he's off his head with coke. Yeah, so what's the hype about him here?
Well, I mean,
He's banging women left, right, and centre and giving
anything credible that
Look,
I've seen him in
he was-
way before all
Yeah,
that.
exactly. He's
Talking
great in
Apocalypse
Ferris
Now,
Bueller.
Yeah.
That's Charlie Sheen's hype for me.
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now. You're
Stakeout.
You're never going to get any better than that.
Stick out with Emilio Estevez as well. Just perfect for them.
Yeah.
But I think it's just the fact you're literally just watching someone just fucking.
Also,
Bomb.
Which one of them is in Hot Shots?
Yeah.
That's Charlie Sheen.
Is
Yeah.
it Charlie Sheen?
Oh,
Well, then there you
actually,
go.
sorry, I forgot about that. And actually,
Oh, that's his finest
while we're on
moment.
The comedic stuff. Scary Movie 3.
Oh.
Yeah. Like he's brilliant.
So
I
underrated
don't know
that
if I've
third
seen
one.
that one.
I think he's
It's
trying
hard to
back
tell
Yeah.
when it's a 5-movie long trilogy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
become one, doesn't it?
I think Charlie Sheen's trying to go back to his drama days. He's trying to get it because he's in a film about 9/11 with Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh my god, I saw that
Jesus.
trailer. Did you see that shit?
I don't know what's called. Is it just
That's-
called 9/11?
That's a joke.
It looks like really.
Yeah, it's pathetically bad. Like,
That's
they,
like
they decided to make a movie about 9/11. You think they would put a lot of, you know, like
Put more thought into it.
you think they would really like take care of that and
just
go
be a little bit more conscientious.
right,
probably
and
not.
also would make this like what people would want to go to the cinema to watch. It's like, you know what, this is an important event that happened. But you know, you want if that's what you're going for. If you're making a movie, it's gotta reach those kind of expectations. If it's that kind of particular event, if you want to make a movie,
But
about
what's
that.
the point in having a film of it? Because nothing can ever live up to those clips. And
Exactly,
we all were there when
exactly.
all that kind of stuff
Right,
happened. So
right? It's almost like don't go there then,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But they went there. So while they went there, watch the trailer. It's a disgrace. It's fucking horrendous. Watch the trailer. And you scratch your head, you'd be like, why the fuck did they go there?
And why did that make this?
And when was it made? This is the last couple of years.
This is going to be coming out this year.
Right.
And I tell you now, that if it wasn't take 9/11, if they took this idea, it's based in an elevator, isn't it?
I think so.
Most of it. They get stuck in the elevator or something. That could have been in a different building, different premise. That could have been a successful movie, but
just
no.
the 9/11 in the world.
And
I'm on the fence. But again, I suppose you can't really fault the film because again, it's been 15 years. But it's the same for I watched it not too long. World Trade Center with Nicolas Cage in it.
Yeah.
And it was out in 2006 ago. 5
I'm just
years.
saying.
Yeah.
Again, the point started making it 4 years, 3 years after.
Yeah.
You know, I think there should be there's a film there about the Boston Marathon with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Patriots Day. That was 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
I think there should be a time frame going. Give it 10 years and then maybe make a movie or something about it. 3 years. I think it's almost the Hollywood's goal. This may sound bad, but as soon as they see a tragedy, they're like, material.
Well,
here we go. That may sound bad to say, but
it's very, very cynical now.
It could be
Who
simple.
hurt you?
But this way,
it's not your fault.
10 years was 10 years from the Gulf War. We had Black Hawk Down and Three Kings and all those kind of films come like 10 years after the fact. Even if that seems a bit quick.
Saving Private Ryan, 60 years.
Yeah, too soon.
But to be fair, there's been war films every couple of years since that. Like,
We Were Soldiers was Vietnam War, and then that came out end of the 90s. Sorry, 2000.
No, 2000. But what I'm saying is leeway wise, but I'm also thinking as well, just because it was a historical event, just because again it's one of those things that's universal for a lot of people to appeal and from remembering. But not saying does it warrant a film, but does there need to be a film for something like that there?
It didn't look like it needed to be done. It was just like, just leave it alone.
I'm more for like films like Titanic because a lot of people didn't obviously see what happened with the Titanic. You know, but things like 9/11, you're like, we've seen it on TV, we know what happened.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the Titanic, I knew how it ended.
Yeah.
Same as Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, fuck this, I know the twist.
There is no twist.
He comes back, you clown.
Still waiting for that. Still waiting for that fucking sequel.
Have you seen Titanic too?
I'm waiting for this too.
That's a sci-fi movie. It's like set in like 2020 and like build
Is this like there was a trailer years ago on YouTube?
Yeah, it might be the same one. Well,
yes,
2020 or 20, maybe it's 2012, 100 years later, and they build this mega fucking.
It was the same time
boat,
as those. Remember the
and it's Titanic 2.
Yeah. The Terminator piss takes. It was like Saturday night SNL sketches or something came out.
Yeah, but this thing was real.
It was
real.
Titanic 2.
Yeah.
Real.
But it's like a real sci-fi movie, only like a real B movie.
I'm talking about some guy on YouTube.
There's a real boat.
No, I'm just saying
there
someone's
is a
fan cut fucking trailer of Titanic. It was Titanic 2. It was like some compilation of stuff made to look like it was Titanic 2, but it's not. Yeah. You're telling me there's an actual Titanic fucking 2 based in the future and shit.
It's terrible too. Like,
no, but is there that Australia guy who's built one?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. This billionaire. He also wants to try and make a Jurassic Park. The fucking
man. Let him do it. Let him
try
build
Titanic 2 and he's going to go to the same routes. He's got spare no expense. On the Titanic, I think he's spared no expense, but fuck's sake. But
if it's in Australia and there's none of them boats from the Lost World about, then it's cool. It's cool.
As long as he gets Sam Neill or Jeff Goldblum to cut the ribbon when he opens Jurassic Park, done. Yeah, Alan.
Shirtless. But it's just it's the appeal then. It's just an attraction. That's how they're making money back on this thing. It's like people will come out to watch to go on this Titanic. Does the thing actually sail? Is it just like
it's supposedly sailing the same route like Southampton to?
I wouldn't dare do that. That's just
right. I think
it's for it or something. Even though we know we can navigate something like that.
And they're gonna have like third class, second class, first class. And all
but it's an actual replica of the fucking.
Yeah, obviously, but it's up to safety standards.
No. If they're right, but if they're taking the same.
Well, look, they didn't bring it. They didn't build it in Belfast again. You know what I mean?
Did we build something that fucked up? We're gonna rebuild it.
Exact same plans.
Go for it.
Did you see there was the documentary there on Channel 4 and it was like fucking Secrets of the Titanic or whatever. And you know like these programs are 10 a penny, like so you don't fucking you shouldn't have
new bit of information every year.
What if the Titanic?
So you know the people from Belfast.
Is that the guy from the world's widest place video?
Yeah.
Let's see what this idiot did in the Atlantic.
Well, the point was of all that.
We are Irish and we don't forget.
The point of all that was right. So you know, people from Belfast are always like, Well, it was alright when it left us.
Yeah.
Supposedly now the theory is that there was literally a fire already burning underneath the deck.
When they left,
the full coal supply was
Wait,
it'll be alright.
when the fucking was sailing out of Belfast.
Just
the
a bit
boys
of back
were
drop.
just like, good luck.
Nearly out.
Everybody on the boat's going, fuck
Yeah, that boat's completely dead on. Don't worry about it. Top notch boat. Unsinkable. It was really stupid calling it the unsinkable boat. They were tempting fucking fate right there, like.
What if
But then they had the port trying to pull it out. You think, boys, like, give us a week, try and get it out or something. No, you need to make the papers.
If only they listened to that old woman, the tale of that old woman who apparently she knew it was going to happen. Only they listened to the little old lady.
Wait,
told her it was going to happen.
I don't like the whole thing, right? At the end of that, is that not her daughter or granddaughter, something that's there with her? Going,
I'm 85.
she's got all these pictures of her at the end of the big whole montage of her like riding a horse and the plane, all that kind of shit. Now, right? That's exactly it. So right at the end, she's back in that boat again, stuck there. What about her husband and all these family members she's known over these years? They meant nothing.
I know. She's also Jack and
Some third class dick from 60 odd years ago. That's it.
Follow her story, and she's obviously selfish. She's not that old bloody thing for herself, isn't she?
Also,
did you see the deleted scene?
Oh yes.
Where like before she actually throws the heart of the ocean into the ocean, Bill Paxton runs down, and goes, don't.
And your tases her.
She gives this big fucking spiel about how life's more important than just sweet treasure, and she fucks it in.
Yeah.
He's been searching this for his whole life. This is his career's work, and you just threw it. You just gave him a story about 4 hours fucking long, and then you just threw that in front of his fucking face.
I never liked that scene with.
Where's your heart, man? Where's your heart?
See when they bring her on the boat for the first time, and they've got your man sitting there showing her all these video clips. Of, here's what happened. Here's how it fell. Here's this. She was there. She remembers. She was hanging on the top of it.
Cheers for bringing back those scars, asshole.
From 3D generated shit. Spared no expense to make her feel like shit. You know what I mean? Here's where your friends died. You know what I mean? I still think it's one of the most fucked up films ever made.
It's been a good enterprise film because like everybody that had anything to do with the Titanic is milking it, and you know how I know because I once dragged me to some fucking god awful Titanic exhibition when I was younger, right? And there was the oldest man that I have ever seen, ever was sitting there, right?
Was he like a toddler that was handed over in the boat?
No. He was about 8 when it left.
Was he in the
And he was down watching it leave. And
Is that it?
there he was telling his story still.
And that's the best thing they had in the museum.
Thousands of fucking people
It's one chair.
Everyone's just getting that wee bit of glory out of it.
Well, here I wanted to bring up about the have you seen the Goon film whatsoever?
The what?
The Goon film, the one with Sean William Scott.
Oh, you were talking
right?
about this, but I haven't seen it.
There's a tie-in with that where he's just brought up about literally who they had there was some 8-year-old at the time who waved it off. There's a big screening on at the minute of the Goon in Belfast, and what they've done is in collaboration with the Belfast Giants for some reason is the Belfast Giants lads before or after the film are going to talk about some random fights they may or may not have had during hockey fights, and then they're going to show this film.
What?
They're not in the film whatsoever.
So they're milking shit too.
So they're just coming and going, yeah, we kind of did that too once.
They're just going to get up, tell stories about scraps they've gotten into,
and then stick this actual film on, yeah.
I think you undersold that. I think that could be good crack.
No, because they're probably just like, I got
yeah. That's the association. So,
but is that not the top level? Do they not play top level hockey in the UK? They would have done some half decent rounds.
Yeah, but they're not known for beating the shit of each other, or else we all would have been there.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Go find out.
No.
Show a bit of curiosity.
I've seen the film. I'm alright. And it's a pretty good fucking film. It's quite funny. Quite funny. There's two. Honestly, you can watch the new one at the minute. It's up on Netflix. I don't know if the first one is, but you don't need to watch the first one. Go back and watch it after if you get the chance. It is pretty funny. It's black comedy. Fucking random wee one-liners will get you. It's not continuous laugh throughout the whole film. It just goes quiet for a while, but it's just interesting to see that the whole film isn't based around this team winning, or it's literally his role is to beat the shit out of someone else in the next team. That's it. That's his only job. It's like, remember in the South Park episode where Stan, the whole film's about him beating up other the kids' dads. That's his whole quest throughout the whole film. I was just like, what the fuck? That's kind of like that whole film. It's based on something completely stupid that doesn't merit the sport whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's just interesting.
South Park episode is one of the best.
What?
Randy fights the
Bat Dad.
This was Margaret.
in the training scene, like where he gets up, he puts like 4 raw eggs in a glass, and then just like looks at it, and then puts them in a frying pan.
Just cracks open a beer first thing in the morning, just working away. No,
Randy's absolutely outstanding in that episode.
So just before we drift off on this one, is there anything else of merit anyone wants to bring up, TV or film wise?
Sorry, you go ahead, man.
But anyone else, while I was opening my mouth, was like,
of course.
Shit, there is. No, Death Note. I just want to say really quickly, has anyone watched it?
I watched an episode of the anime and I was like, this is like all anime. Boring.
Yeah. I got halfway through the anime. I got as far as we were playing tennis and he's sitting there going, I'm out. Bullshit.
I will watch
halfway
this
through
reboot if it's good.
Right, here's my. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen any of the originals or nothing.
Right,
Go for it.
I like certain anime, but I remember when I was starting to get into anime, I remember watching the Death Note at that time, and it just didn't click for me. I was like, nah, not for me. So some of the elements or some of the storytelling just didn't work for me. Right, it was only getting into anime. I might go back to it and see if there's anything that I like about it. This version of the story, it kind of hits. In my version, it does a good job of just like showing appreciation to the anime and like explaining, this is based off an anime. It's not our thing. Okay. It does a good job of doing that, right? William Dafoe's in it, and he does the voice of this demon.
So is it an animated movie?
Yeah.
It's a Netflix live action movie. And I thought it was a TV series, but it's a short movie. It's like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And it's pretty good. It follows. There's certain movies that remind you of it, right? When you're watching, you're like, oh, it kind of reminds me of such and such. I'm not going to say it now, actually. I have other opinions on it. It reminded me of certain good kind of films, but good pacing, and there's certain tracks that work well with what they're actually showing on screen. So, like, with particular relationship he has with this girl throughout the movie, particular songs are just right on key to what you're just watching. Like, that's pretty smart.
Right.
That song, and stuff like that. So it's pretty good of making a good movie, right? Regardless if it's replicating the anime or not. I can give a shit if it's replicating the anime or not. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be.
I just get worried about the whole Shinigami thing. Like, is it going to be too distracting because it's going to be effects wise? Is it too
it's
like?
Be brilliant. Yeah. Like I was just watching, going, it's pretty fucking cool because I know what it looks like in the anime.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's cool. They got that done live action, and it's just its own thing. You know what I mean?
The whole thing about them that made it creepy that I kept watching it for.
It's pretty creepy.
Is
Like
they don't blink or close their eyes. They're constantly have their eyes open the whole time.
In the live action one,
the cartoon from what I remember.
I don't know what you would class
or anime. Sorry.
Thriller, kind of drama as well. And there's a lot of elements in it, but it's like a coming to age thing. It deals with these teenage kids and stuff, particularly this teenager who. It's a good premise. I'm not going to spoil it now. I advise everyone to watch it. Give it a watch.
I'll watch it because I looked up the anime on the strength of reading the synopsis of the plot.
Yeah.
But I was just like,
I think
it's quite long. The anime is quite long.
I want to like anime, but I just don't.
Yeah.
So I've just come to terms with that, like, because I've tried so many different ones. But one I want to look at.
Your head with it. It's just like watch it.
Have you seen? Or well, I've only I watched it and I fell asleep 10 minutes into it, but that was on me. It was good, like. The Castlevania thing that has gone up on Netflix.
No,
I never played any of the games or anything, but just like the
is it based off the game? Because
cool.
we have played the games before.
Castlevania,
like fucking brilliant.
Romania, Transylvania, vampires. That whole sort of
it's like Medal of Honor before Medal of Honor kind of thing. We're mixed with that because we always had the same kind of rifles and what for the PC game was fucking class.
But it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, well, as I say, I took in about 10 minutes of it and then I was out cold.
What, is this just anime or like?
It's animated, isn't it?
Yeah, it's animated.
Okay.
I don't know if you call it anime.
I think it's almost in the style.
Somewhere in the middle of the Eastern and Western style.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it out.
But it's pretty good.
So I heard of it. Sorry, I heard there was some sort of version of it. We don't really know much about Castlevania.
No, I know
We
nothing
can mention only what we played when we were younger.
Yeah.
A Sega Mega Drive version of...
No, I think it was PC we overhad, yeah.
Sega, it was fucking Sega, I swear to God it was.
Well, again, your memory's better than I am when it comes to gaming anyway.
Shit,
but you're marauding through castles and shit, killing vampires and stuff, aren't you?
Not a PC, I remember having a controller. What's that?
Sorry, just anyone distracted there. Our studio is actually mobile at the moment due to prior engagements. We just realised that there's a train station nearby, so forgot how loud the trains are going past every so often.
But no, I just wanted to say, like, I definitely remember playing it and like having to like really like button mash to get my way through that fucking game. I remember playing briefly, like, but
it just the vibe of it really. What it reminded me of most of all is like the coolest Hellboy comics. Because in the coolest Hellboy comics, he finds something mad going on in America, and then he has to get the whole crew on a plane over to fucking Transylvania, and then they just have to scrap through this castle full of monsters, and then they get to the top and they fight the main vampire, and then everyone goes home like, and he's smoking a cigar, and it's just classic Hellboy like. But that's just the sort of vibe I was getting off it, so I was like, yeah, this is gonna be cool. So
what
can't wait to get back and get the rest of that watched. Yeah.
Right, basically then, what would you give a shout out for anyone to check out from what we've discussed here so far?
Other than Death Note, something I didn't get covered was Jump Street, and I'm so behind on movies and stuff. I know it came out fucking years ago. 1 and 2 I watched recently. Oh, actually, yeah, Central Intelligence. Have you guys watched it?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart and The Rock.
I haven't seen it.
That's good.
Really funny.
I've
really
watched it
fucking
like 3
funny.
times now, and only because
I'm actually surprised that you haven't seen it.
Did you hear about Kevin Hart and John Cena? It's supposed to be in the new Knight Rider reboot.
No way.
It's supposed to be like a
Who
comedy.
plays who?
It's supposed to be in the same style as 2022 Jump Street. John Cena's Hasselhoff character and Kevin Hart be the car kit.
Okay, I can check that out.
That's what people were saying. Like Dwayne Johnson's not going to be happy. The Rock's not going to be happy. John Cena's different. His
concept.
Sidekick and stuff.
Yeah.
And then John Cena's supposed to be playing Shazam. So he.
Oh no! Don't even get me started.
Might happen again on the screen. Like that's what they were saying online. Like The Rock versus Cena happens again, but on the screen, on the silver screen. But The Rock.
Why are DC determined to make Shazam a wrestler? Like,
sorry?
Why does it have to be a wrestler? Like, it doesn't have to be The Rock or John Cena.
I don't even know what Shazam.
So it could wind up being fucking Shazam is John Cena and The Rock is Black Adam.
Is The Rock who?
Their nemesis
is Black Adam, isn't it?
But then there's even talk of The Rock leading up a Black Adam solo film. It's just like, look, DC fucking sit down.
I mean, having
sit down.
I don't think they know.
Scorsese, he's doing a Joker film as well.
There's been updates on that thing.
I didn't get into that shit.
No.
Every other day,
Producer, bro.
He's not being Batman. You're like,
And there's a guy who did Hangover's Dragnet.
So
Todd Phillips, is it?
Yeah.
So the setup then that they're talking about having now is that they're going to make a Joker and Harley Quinn movie in universe with Jared Leto and fucking Margot Robbie.
In universe.
Yeah.
And then an outside of the DC extended universe, just standalone Joker origin movie with Scorsese attached to produce. And no, that's the rumor.
That's rumours, of course.
Because of Scorsese being attached, but realistically, it could be anybody. Do you know who I think has been the rarest shout for a Joker of recent weeks? I think it would be fucking brilliant if this panned out. Okay, so he's aware of Flashpoint, the Flash comic where he fucking runs through the speed barrier and turns himself. He shoots himself into a different dimension, and shit's just a bit different. So like Thomas Wayne is Batman, Bruce got murdered in the alley,
and yes,
Martha Wayne's the Joker.
What?
Yeah. She was mad because of the death.
Aquaman's people are at war with Wonder Woman's people, so the Flash needs to get all these boys to stop wrecking fucking each other and come together, sort shit out and get home. It's epic. But who has thrown herself into the hat to play that part is Karen Gillan, Nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy.
With blue shade,
yeah.
She's jumping ship.
Well, you definitely would, but she's gone by. She was the doctor's assistant on Doctor Who for years, and she's about to go fucking supernova because she's going to be opposite The Rock in the Jumanji remake, which is coming out soon. So, but like she just, I don't know, there's something like mad about a ginger Scottish girl playing the Joker that I just think. Let's make that shit happen.
They're trying to adapt that fucked up timeline.
I'd say that the Flash's solo movie will follow that. So even if she doesn't get to do this Origins movie, there's still going to be a chance for it down the line.
And that's how you think
somebody female is going to play the Joker. Like, you know that their merchandising department is sitting going, look how many fucking Harley Quinns we sold.
Yeah.
This shit is easy. We'll make a fucking sexy girl the Joker, and we will sell 1 billion Halloween costumes, and then we will fuck off into the sunset having made another shit movie.
Well, hopefully Justice League, but Joss Whedon, I think that could be a good thing.
That's cray. Yeah. How do you... No, come on, boys.
If
any other two directors in the world, but Zack Snyder being finished by Joss Whedon, what the fuck is that going to be like? It's going to be the most crippling, horrendous first half hour, and then by the end of it, they're all going to be joking and laughing, high-fiving, fucking...
I'm looking forward to some good, like...
I just simply don't care as long as they don't fuck up Aquaman. He is my second favourite superhero of all time. and he
I want to put it all up.
Is-
Is this
There
before
are
you
some
seen
good
Jason
stories
Momoa
that-
as
yeah.
Aquaman?
You know my favourite Aquaman?
Fair play to him.
There's a run of the comics where he's just a
Badass,
total
like.
badass. Like, there's one where fucking his half
Bad
brother
arse.
rises up. His half brother rises up and tries to wreck Gotham, and then the Justice League and Aquaman both sort him out. And then they're all on this boat after
Slapping
the
the
fucking
fish.
armies have been wrecked, and the Justice League are like, "Your fucking half brother's come with us." Like, he's going to jail, and Aquaman's like, "For what are you? What are you on it? This man's coming
Yeah,
down.
no.
This man's coming down to serve
Atlantis.
Atlantean justice."
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then next thing he just gets Batman by the throat, and he's just like, "Listen, Bruce, you have forced my hand," and then that's it. End of the issue. It's epic, but
That's cool.
But that's how badass Aquaman is. He's the king. He controls sharks. He can fucking do all kind of shit.
Badass. I like the animated version of his story. Like, you know,
Throne of Atlantis.
I think that's the first Justice League cartoons where it shows him with the claw, how he got that hook in his arm.
Oh,
Yeah, he had a hook hand for a while, and he had a hand made out of water for a while. Yeah.
But before that, he was just like, you know, like he had two functioning hands. But then there was an incident where he had to save his child, and he had to cut his hand off to say, "Oh man, it's just like, oh, he's badass." Like,
There are some
cool
badass
stories
scenes.
about Aquaman. You're like, I can tell why he's just.
When you meet him in, there's a Justice League animated that came out there, and when you meet him, he's in a pub steaming, right? And he doesn't know he's Aquaman, he only thinks he's Arthur Curry at this point.
Yeah.
And he's sitting talking,
Throne of Atlantis.
talking to this lobster that's in the tank, and he's talking about this lobster absolutely gazeboed, like, and he fucking, somebody comes along and who grabs the lobster to eat it, and he's like, "Fucking hell no," massive bar fighter lobster just winds up with him fucking this one by about 10 miles out into the ocean. He's an absolute
What's this
champion.
one called?
That's Throne of Atlantis.
There's
It's some good
really
DC animated.
there's some great decent ones.
Justice League
Unfortunately,
Dark was
there's-
good.
Yeah, War is good as well. Unfortunately, there's a couple of the later Batman. There's a trilogy of them. There's Son of Batman. There's Bad Blood or something, and then there's.
Don't know the Batman solo ones that well. I've seen Red Hood.
Was he comics?
It's okay. Yeah, it's
I've
pretty
seen the one where
good. It's actually pretty good. Yeah.
this, what happens? They have assault on Arkham. What's the crack with it? It's
That's
something to do
brilliant.
with the
That's
Suicide
brilliant,
Squad.
man. It's better.
Yeah,
The story in that.
I remember
was
really
far
enjoying
better.
it. I just can't remember it in detail.
I don't know which one subject you want to move on to, but I'm telling you that one, that premise, and that story, I thought that's what they were going for, and then when I watched the movie, I was kind of like disappointed, going, "Fucking anime is brilliant." I don't know, so I was just like,
Well, Justice League, I don't know. I'd love to be really, really, really optimistic. Like,
I'm not. I'm quiet because I've watched fuck all trailers and watched one trailer ages ago. That dropped.
Well, with no time really, because there's only about 70 days till that, and about 60 days till Thor's out as well.
Thor
So
3,
yeah.
movie of the year, put the fucking house on it. How just chill out and laugh is that movie going to be?
It looks like good crack, but
It's like a road movie.
Yeah, it's going to be an intergalactic fucking road trip, and it's based on this, but it's actually based on a terrible comic. Like, it's fucking horrendously badly written, but it's a great premise where these
How
aliens.
is that greenlit? If you know what I mean, the fact that
Well, it's such a good premise that they simply have to see it on the big screen. But
I
the thing
don't know
is,
this.
the Hulk is on this planet, and they can control him.
It's not Planet Hulk.
Yeah, so they make him fight
Original.
in these gladiator battles. But the like supporting cast of like the slave aliens and all that he's hanging about with are so annoying and shit and crap and forgettable that you're just like, why did Marvel commit this to paper? Like, but it's gonna make a great movie. Like,
I haven't really seen it. I haven't seen any of the
intrigued
Thor movies
anyway.
at all. I've seen a few of the Captain America, seen Iron Man, but I haven't seen
I
any
like
of the
Captain
Thor
America.
movies.
I really like it. I like Captain America.
Captain America, I like it. In the comics, he's
the
Hydra
Avengers, my
or
favourite.
something.
that I don't keep up with Marvel. Like, what's going on at the.
I've just seen that, like, all his life, he's always been Hydra.
I don't know how they wrote themselves back out of that. Then
Yeah, like,
supposedly it was bad.
So the
Yeah,
Come back,
yeah. Well, that was. It was like it's been a good while since he was announced.
Captain America, welcome back. No, so I get mixed up with the Matrix. Shit, what does he say? He says this ridiculous line in it. Oh, in Captain America.
because he's Red Skull, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hugo Even, what the fuck?
But he hasn't appeared since. I thought
Red
Red
Skull.
Skull is supposed to be really good, is he not, in the comics and stuff, and really actually more important than you think, is he?
I think so, but I think the character that was played by Daniel Brühl in Civil War is pretty big. Baron Zemo. I think they might
Is
continue
that
on with him.
the guy who did the main get bad guy in Civil War, was it?
Yeah.
He had to get them. He was trying to get them all together to fight each other.
Yeah.
So he has a bigger role.
I think so. I think he probably will.
This story. Sorry, I haven't watch that fucking Avengers.
Civil War.
I don't know how. I think I've been in every Marvel movie that I came out for the last 6 years.
I want to say I haven't seen it.
Yeah, Spider-Man's great.
Still on the list.
Oh man, it's a laugh, and it's not the fucking origin story again. So it's just like,
so it's already got the powers.
I'm sick of origin stories.
As long as it's not,
as
long as it's not Robert Downey Jr. heavy, I'm alright. Because to me, he works in small doses. Because he's just too much.
Oh look, it's not all about Robert Downey Jr.
Good, thank
he's
you.
about though. He is about.
And he hits on things bad. And
yeah.
See, I'm not a Spider-Man fan. It's just a wee dude shooting webs. Like, no. There's a dude that dresses in black and goes out at night and beats the shit out of people. Why would I be interested in some wee dude in bright red and bright blue that shoots webs?
You can climb walls and you
Talking
fly
about
through
Batman,
skyscrapers and stuff.
I was just going to say, it's hard to get sympathy for someone who's got lots of money. You've got someone who...
I give him sympathy.
He's
had a shit upbringing.
Well, this is why...
From a huge Batman fan.
Well, this is why I say that Aquaman is my second favourite superhero. My favourite of all time has to be Daredevil. He's Batman with a job.
It's got anticlimactic.
You know what I mean? You know what? Batman's lying in bed getting his fucking wounds licked by Alfred. Fucking Murdoch is down fucking saving people from getting evicted from their homes, fucking getting drug dealers off the street.
The Wayne Foundation.
Yeah. But like, Bruce, come on, get your hands dirty during the daytime, mate. Let's go. But yeah, Daredevil. Batman with a job.
I have to throw up Wolverine. I noticed that.
Yeah, but they done went and fucking wrecked that as well by writing an origin story.
No, too many versions.
The origin movie.
Two characters you never wanted to know: the Joker and Batman. Now, fair enough. The Joker origin story, the Killing Joke, like that's Alan Moore. That man can do what he wants. You just let him write whatever. He's gonna do it anyway, so just let him. But you know, even that was kind of vague enough, and I just don't want to see a Joker Origins movie. No, I really don't like it. I didn't watch Wolverine Origins.
It's supposed to be focusing on Joker as a child, so traumatic childhood.
Why?
I hate Gotham. I hate Gotham as well. Can I just put that out there? It's absolutely dreadful. The whole point of Batman is like he starts his fucking crusade and he's fighting the mobsters and the corrupt judges and shit, and then the city gets fucking crazier and crazier to mirror, and then we keep escalating until the points in the comics where it's like, can I continue to be Batman, blah blah blah, and then we get these nice fucking storylines. But like, have you seen the trailer for season 4 of Gotham? But I haven't. But I've seen a still.
There's been 4 seasons.
He's not about a fucking Gibb suit. Have you seen the suit? Oh my god! But he's still like 16. No, it's just, and like they introduced literally pretty much every single villain that Batman's ever fought. In the first episode, we met at least 5 of them.
I mean, all the villains, yeah.
And it's like they're not supposed to be about until Batman. And
the thing that
Smallville did that too.
I watched episode 1.
Didn't watch Smallville.
I'm a huge fan, and I have been very reluctant to watch it because I thought after the pilot episode going, shit, that was bad. And
the man can't act. Can we agree on that?
Gordon, the
guy
from the OC.
Oh, right.
He cannot act.
Really?
And you know what pissed me off? Watching Catwoman at that age, I'm like, fuck off. That doesn't work, does it?
I mean, the Riddler is older.
Older than Catwoman.
So he's...
There's certain things that just didn't work for me, like in timeline wise. It just didn't. I'm not comfortable with certain characters being on screen already. I'm like, okay, I know his history, that's fine, but like,
doesn't need to be so much
heavily relying on these main villains.
If they just focused on Gordon working in the police, with the police,
you have plenty
that could have been just an independent thing.
You should certainly
Space and Gotham.
Put a spin on it.
You have to show Batman and the Jokers and all that.
Well, if I watch the season, I'm saying this now, so when I watch the season, I'm going to be frustrated. Tell me it's like it's going to be a big. It's not even going to be that down. It's just going to be what I thought. So I'm just going to be annoyed watching it.
I seen an episode where I was lost, and it was the equivalent of seeing the polar bear Lost.
Oh God, yes.
Some mad balloon villain.
Yeah.
He tosses people to balloons and they float off. I was like,
fuck
off.
Stretching.
You're stretching it.
Anybody got a lighter just to go straight to
it's very, very bad. Like it's
dreadful, like
really bad.
So, Redacre vote down on Gotham then?
Double thumbs down.
Double thumbs down.
I give a thumbs up to the film I'm going to watch next. I've mentioned this to you earlier on.
Go for it.
A film that you just stick on. You can always stick on. You never get sick of it.
Yeah.
It's different to your favourite film.
Oh yeah, yes,
I
separate.
my favourite film I can't watch it.
I very rarely watch my favorite film. Yeah,
because you don't want to spoil it. You don't want to ruin it too much. You just want to appreciate what you want.
Yeah.
But there's films that you can stick on at any time you want. I have a couple in. I'm gonna stick with one of them today. One's Missed Outfire. I'm not gonna say
yes.
Missed Outfire's one I go to. But another one is, have you ever seen Dante's Peak?
Yes, with Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan. The best
Running away.
The volcano movie from 1998. The other one being probably
yeah.
Well, Dante's Peak is a safe movie.
Hold on a second.
You can have the crack. You can sit down and Pierce Brosnan. There's a few moments that are just a laugh.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it so long, but I pretty much never scene by scene. There's a bit where up the mountain was to try to find the kids.
Yes.
And they're going to find the grandma who didn't want to come down
Nope.
the mountain. So they got the grandma and then the jeep's fucked, so they have to get on the wee boat onto the lake.
Yes.
The lake. So they're on the boat, but the volcano has now heated up the lake to be acidic.
Yes.
So it's melting the propeller. So they stop in the middle of the lake and they're like, right, we're fucked now. Pierce Brosnan's like, row, trying to keep them calm. And he's like, we're fucked now. So he wraps his shirt in. He's trying to go back, right, trying to pour himself back with the shirt. But it's just not working and stuff, and they're about only 20 feet. Pierce Brosnan's like, only 20 feet. He shouldn't be here. I would hear testing out the fucking equipment and seeing that the volcano's trying to go off, and nobody believed him. But then at the end, the kids were all freaking out, and then the grandma decides, well, this is my fucking fault. They're all up here. So she jumps out of the boat. She jumps out of the boat in the acid water and goes, she's going. She's going, trying to pull the boat over to the wee pier. And everyone's like, and the kids are like, grandma. And then Pierce Brosnan's like, oh my god, what her name was, Mary or something. Mary, what are you doing? But at the same time, he's not lifting her back in. He's like, oh Mary, just a few more feet. Just a few more feet. Yeah. And then as soon as he gets to the pier, they all run down the pier and she's still in the water. And they're walking up the pier and they grab her in. Well, it's just a great film. Like, it's just some laughs at it. Like Pierce Brosnan's like, yeah, just.
I actually might stick this on later on myself. I haven't seen this in years. I love Volcano though.
Watch that bit. Just that one bit. Just watch Pierce Brosnan. You tell is that the character he's going for. That's the thought process that character's going. I want to lift her out of the water, but at the same time, I'm not jumping in there.
I think there's a wee moment of Pierce when he's driving away from the big thing of ash, and he just does this wee look in the mirror as if to go like, just see if it's still coming. Like, did it stop? But he does this wee just do a wee check there.
Oh, that's great. Griffin, that's why I'm going to stick up next. That's my thumbs up for a wee old recommendation.
I don't know if it's a thumb down for Gotham, right? Because I haven't watched it yet, but it sounds like shit. So probably one thumb down, right? But I always stick on Peep Show recently. That's my thing. I'd fucking probably stick on later on. Like that.
I
you watch their new show?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is it tomorrow?
Or something?
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it.
Oh, excellent.
Like, I pretty much enjoy everything they do. Their sketch show's funny as well.
Yeah, the Mitchell Webb. Yeah,
that's number one. You have seen it?
Oh, it's really funny.
Man, you're in for a treat.
I think you showed me something.
There's
like
really funny. Even the simple one always comes up with them sitting there, the Nazi uniform. Just, are we evil? Are we the bad guys? Yeah, we've got skulls. Are we the bad guys? It's like. There's a great one as well where there's one of them, I think it's Mitch or something, that's living in like some jungle kind of show thing, but it's actually like a garden centre or something.
Really mad
there's some mad fucking clips out of it. It's funny as hell. Like
Peep Show is like the in-betweeners grew up and gone flat. Like
yes, that's actually a good way.
So dysfunctional.
I spend more time just watching it for Super Hands. It's almost like Tires Out of Space. You spend more time looking out for these extra characters.
Just a cool thing as well. I find something as that calling people piss kidneys.
I think it's Space is something you got me into. Yes. Fucking hell, man.
Is Space as good as everyone makes out? Should I watch it?
Yes.
Yeah. I seen a bit of the World's End the other night. That's the one I haven't
World's
seen.
End is my least favourite.
Is it bad?
Yeah.
It's my least favourite.
Right.
With your mate Pierce. With your mate Pierce.
I seen a couple of episodes, but I didn't really get it.
Oh, right. Well,
I'm sure I will if I get it.
Try.
It's the same with Rick and Morty. Like, just give it a go. Like,
you're big into it now.
I think I seen a couple of it. Like,
it should be on 4OD.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely be on all 4.
Even the first episode, I like Space. Like I seen Shaun of the Dead first, and all the films, and then it was actually John who said, "Recommend, oh man, you should watch Space." But if you like that, you love this. It's like a TV show of Shaun of the Dead.
Right. Oh yeah.
It was part of that lineup on Channel 4 on Friday nights. Tuesday they had this series of shows really late at night, and would have like Spaced, and they'd have Futurama, and they'd have fucking rather good videos, and then right at the end, it'd be in the middle of it, of course, was Eurotrash and fucking. But then
Brassey was on as
yes,
well.
like that was really late.
Oh,
Really late.
fuck,
You used to
what
get these
show.
really mad shows. Yeah, they'd stay on. Yeah.
Have you seen the episode of Brassey where it's Peter Geddon?
Yes.
And Simon Pegg bursts on.
We know where our
set.
kids are.
Fucking
In the lockers.
Simon Pegg bursts onto the set as like the leader of a pedo rights
Yeah.
group. It is absolutely insane. Have you seen that shit?
It's brilliant.
Oh
It's
my
fucking.
god!
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a fake news show,
Yeah.
like, and then there's this bit in the middle of there's one that's like just like real, getting real alarmist about pedos, like the way the papers were going mad in the 90s, like. Yeah, and then they just took it to the next level, and then there was an article on that.
That's the episode that got them completely taken
Oh
off
yeah,
there.
that's
That one episode got them done.
Yeah.
They were treading on
went out with such a
thin ice
bang.
for a long time.
There's just one bit where it's like,
Right,
and then they were punishing this one pedo by blasting him into space.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, at the very last minute, we discovered an 8-year-old boy
child
was
on
placed on board.
Yeah.
A spokesman for NASA said, "This is exactly what we didn't want." It is insane.
Sometimes that show, it's those wee throwaway fake news clips that they have.
Your boy that does it is just so.
They got Wolf and Gladiators to do like a.
That I think is the day today. That's the day today. It's similar to that, but they made up these fake campaigns to get celebrities on because to just prove the point that at that time celebrities would just come on for anything. So they made up this whole fake thing about an elephant that got his trunk stuck up his arse, and they got all these different people in, and then right in the middle of it, they're sitting there talking to these different celebrities, and it goes, "Thank fuck for Wolf the Gladiator," and he comes on, and he goes, he does his whole speech, and goes, "We need to get that trunk out of his arse," and then he does a wee vox pop, and then he goes, "She needs wolf power." It's like, but it's just how thank fuck for Wolf the Gladiator. It's like
the best Gladiator,
the only Gladiator. What was it? There was Jet, and there was fucking.
What do you call it, Wooga? What do you call it by at the end? Wooga.
That's I don't know, man.
I can only remember the wolf flick.
Whatever happened to them? Like, is Wolf still out there?
Presumably.
I think he's laying low.
I also remember the one. He could never take him serious. Like he'd always get his ass handed to him by some random lad who worked in like Super Value who comes on the show, and then at the end of it, there's a clip of him on a boat going, "I'll get you next week." It's like you lost every week, and you're still on a boat with all these women.
Professional television athlete.
Yeah. Finally tuned the athletic machine, and he lost every week. Fucking hell.
Seriously, the next week.
Talking about sketch shows for a moment, I want to jump it in while we're talking with Simon Pegg. You watched or got me into what we call it, Big Train.
Oh Jesus!
If you haven't watched Big Train,
what's Big Train?
It's a sketch show, but BBC, written by the same writers from Valladolid.
A lot of notable actors in and out of it. Really good.
Yeah.
BBC has done some good shit over the years. Like I suppose we're
They
talking
did.
before there,
Yeah.
but like I was just thinking there about Shooting Stars. I fucking
Oh,
love that show.
Rick
Seen it?
Mortimer.
Absolutely.
Bob Mortimer.
Bonkers.
Bob Mortimer and Rick.
Martel.
I can't remember.
Rick Martel, is it not?
I can't remember.
Vic Reeves.
Vic Reeves is it?
Sorry.
Bob Mortimer.
I knew I was gonna get it. But just talking about it.
And even Matt Lucas started off there.
Yeah. And then even the boy when they brought it back, it was that boy Angelos Epithemu. It was pretty funny. Like they used to do the thing about what's in his bag. Like it used to be something real.
They even had this weird thing with like this creepy looking fox.
Yeah.
Remember the creepy fox?
Oh yeah, the sweaty fox.
That was just
and the
creepy
dove
shit.
from above.
Yeah.
Oh, there was some brilliant shit on that.
But it was basically
the challenges at the end.
It was just a way to take the
like,
piss out of Johnny Vegas every week, and then Enrica Johnson as well.
Enrica
That's all they
Johnson,
did
she
was
got
take the
ripped out
piss out of
every
them too.
week,
And who's it? Will Self. He was
Yeah.
on it. No, I just hated that deck. And the other guy that was on like not Top Gear, Fifth Gear. The writer, I can't remember. Yeah, he was on it a few times. Fucking.
Shooting Stars has was. I don't think everybody wasn't really saying. I'm a sucker for How I Got News For You.
yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Captain on that.
Don't like the way they have fucking scumbag Tory politicians on it though, as if they're good crack. Like,
And then
you know what I'm saying? Like,
And
and
then
that
you're taking the fucking mick out of them.
that studs. Like, 'cause I mean that fucking
Yeah, they're not
humanises them
welcome
cunts
here.
in people's
Sorry,
eyes. Like, you know what I mean? Just keep
Yeah, you're trying to
them
fucking do it.
out of it. Like,
I don't know how some of the writers get away with writing some of the stuff. No, because I think I've seen an episode not too long ago where they actually referenced BBC Bias.
isn't it?
Stories and stuff. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Quite time to do that because they need to make fun of themselves.
I seen there's a weird one. It used to be kicking about on BBC Three. It was really, really funny. How Not to Live Your Life. Did you ever see it?
No.
It was just about this guy who was just like going about his daily life, but he was like a bit of a waster. He was a bit like Jez from Peep Show.
Nice.
But like it would stop in the middle of scenes and go through like the 5 worst things that he could do in that situation.
Right.
And then it would show you all of them. It was just sheer madness. Like, very good though. You should look it up.
What?
How not to live your life.
How not to
live your life.
I
was
can't
worried.
think what you call your man, but it is funny.
I was worried in case that was that show that came out a while back. I think it only lasted about one season over here, and it was something along the lines of it's you're in randomly you jump into this guy's head, and it was a sports commentating team, like a soccer commentating team. Going, oh, I don't know, Jim. I think you should go off and do this thing. Like the idea of it was funny, but maybe it's a one-off skit in some show. But they did an entire show of it. Oh, it just ruined itself after one episode. No, the problem is the idea of it is funny. If you flick back, you know, like the whole like the devil and angel thing on your shoulder, bring it in every so often as a wee thing, right? Yeah. Do you ever, like, even an example, like we've seen things like Man Seeking Woman, like how random that show would get with different scenarios. So that could be one part of his gimmick the whole way through the show, but they made that the main focus of the show, that they'll cut back as if to say, okay, this is all filler until you cut back to these lads talking in his head. It was just, and it was full of sports puns and all this kind of stuff, and I seen it going, nah. Like, you know, remember the guys in Dodgeball? It would go back to the guys in the desk every so often. Like, that was funny because they were relatable, they were a wee bit funny. Well, these guys were just like talking non-stop, English accents, soccer references the whole way through. Oh, I think you should tackle into this situation, and they're just like
taking one joke in there.
I was never going to
No.
Here's a flash. I don't know why it came into my head, but I'm going to mention it anyway. I need to remember, do you have any shitty TV shows you watched when you were kids, like stuck watching it? But I'm going to throw one at you. You can think of one each. You can think of something you used to watch.
And it was shit.
That was on TV before, something that you were looking forward to watching.
Oh, right. So you're watching the last few minutes of something, you're like, what the fuck?
Oh, you know the filler things. Well, do you remember that shitty TV show, Girl from Tomorrow?
I was actually about to say The Girl from Tomorrow with the headband on her head and the big crystal base thing.
Weird show.
Yeah.
What is this?
You do.
This was in the night. This was in the night.
No,
look. Not everyone remembers or even acknowledges this one. It's just a random show. Some girl literally from the future comes back in this big crystal fucking shade, and she has to try and get back, and she's got these wee powers, and it's just fucking. It was so shit, but we tuned in every week because again, back in the day, it's only about 5 channels anyway.
You had to watch the next episode to figure out what was going on.
Do you know what as well? What was on before that? Reboot. One of the worst animated shows ever made. Reboot was on before that.
Oh my god!
90s show was just Reboot. It was just a haggard looking animation.
Did you just watch the worst channel ever?
No.
Do you know what was on before that? Even more shit.
This was just TV in the 90s.
You boys should have turned over and watched the news.
This was us living in Mullaban. For anyone listening, we are in Ireland talking about this, by the way. So living in Mullaban, and all we had was about 2 channels. And the Angelus at 6 o'clock on the fucking dot.
I remember watching.
Do not forget about Jesus.
Justice League in Irish at one stage.
And SpongeBob and all in Irish. It's just fucking weird.
Because we just didn't understand that.
That's SpongeBob and Ireland. When we went back and visit, anytime you go back down south, you'll pick up these channels, and it's just nothing but fucking everything else. But even before, man, Ireland was just weird for TV. Like, do you remember even the Saturday nights? Telly Bingo.
Yeah.
What the fuck was the point of Telly Bingo?
Like, Winning Streak was mad enough.
Winning Streak was class.
But it was good.
Because it was random wee farmers coming on, and he's winning like $4,000, and he's having the time of his life.
Taking the message off time.
Off. No, this is like, we're going up to Lisburn today.
Those animations on the screen were ridiculous.
Absolutely bonkers.
I don't think more TV. I thought it was part of the day, but it was 2 huge guys. Like they're monsters, hairy fucking monsters, like a Meg from fucking Monster.
Oh, the Morbegs.
The Morbegs.
Yes.
The Morbegs. Are they still on?
No.
And Tommy Tiernan was one of their fucking
How long was that on for?
I swear to God, you look that up.
They made a movie out of that fucking thing, didn't they? The Morbegs or something.
I hope they don't.
I
remember
don't know.
Pippa and Catherine was talking about it recently. Like, they made a movie out of it.
The one I was going to say, the show that unfortunately is such a big part of my childhood and does not hold up as an adult, is the Power Rangers. Like, what?
I knew at the time this shit was not going to. For me, I was watching going.
But I haven't seen the new movie yet. So
No, have I? But
that's probably.
I don't like the convenience that everyone's wearing a helmet, so you just know for a fact it's all stunt people. I'm sitting there going, no, done.
But
I never
know we're getting the suit.
The show as a kid.
No way.
No.
It wasn't
Were you not a Power Rangers kid?
I played the toys.
Oh, you know it? Oh.
No, we weren't allowed. Put this way, we weren't allowed to watch Power Rangers because they said it was too violent. But then we were allowed to watch wrestling. Not a bother. Yeah.
What I was going to say is, I don't know if I ever mentioned this to you before, probably, but there was an even worse show that was like a very, very bad rip-off of it.
Oh god.
Called The Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Yes.
Thank fuck somebody else remembers this show.
Do you know why?
Man, no. Oh, that's Animorphs.
Yeah, Animorphs.
Now,
Yeah.
I can't remember the TV show, but I read all 52 of the fucking books, and it is
The show was
epic
terrible.
in a way that nothing else is.
The big
That Big Bad Beetleborg.
Oh,
It
the
used,
Big Bad Beetleborgs, man.
yeah. It used to be on between.
Yeah,
It used to be on between
So fun
Goosebumps.
to
Yeah.
say, the Big Bad Beetleborgs. The Big Bad Beetleborgs. The Big Bad Beetleborgs.
It used to be on between
Big Bad Beetleborgs. I could go all night.
The big bad.
Masked Rider. Used to be on between that.
Yeah, but he was Power Rangers mate. He
Yeah.
met Power Rangers for an episode, so that wasn't just like a complete rip-off. But Beetleborgs didn't know what. Like, whoever...
For life.
Man, it was like about kids that went to a haunted house, and instead of fucking, it was like ghosts.
Instead of wrecking the place.
But then they also had these massive beetle swords like Power Rangers that would combine in the fucking...
So it's a pure rip-off.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Completely. Like, but if you want to see something fucking mind-bending, and like it actually hurts to watch it because the camera works really, really bad. So, actually, it was on Netflix for a while. So
Something else for everyone else to check out then. Big Bad
it
Beetleborg.
is available.
There's actually some good old nostalgic. I think Jenny watches Goosebumps.
But
Yeah.
you remember when Netflix first came about and it had the full X-Men animated series on?
Yes.
Fuck!
The
The fucking greatest adaptation of Gambit that there's ever likely to be.
Yes.
Until
My favourite X-Man.
I used to
Until the
like,
Tatum-
dress up to that
Tatum comes on
character that.
That movie's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
I just don't think so.
It's going to go on too long.
Plus, what they need to do now for the Gambit character is wait like another couple of years, right? And then do like a Logan style old Gambit with Matthew
What's a
McConaughey.
Gambit?
How perfect is that? And he's just down hanging about New Orleans, steaming all the time.
Accent and all that.
Somewhere near
But
the
they
end,
could
so-
do great flashback scenes and shit because in his solo comics he becomes the head of the Guild of Thieves and they're always fighting with the Guild of Assassins. So there's all this mad shit that they could write in. And plus he beats people up with a stick. You always forget that about Gambit. Like, in addition to the flying fucking big burning cards,
Awesome. Look.
he is fucking Donatello as well. Like,
He's what I didn't mind his some of his
Fast,
scenes.
fast.
here,
Stop.
where is the big budget, gritty, fucking dark reboot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Because the Michael Bay movies were horrendous. But see, with all this talk now about things being rated R, and the new Hellboy rated R sounds like it's going to be.
I want to
Okay,
create R-rated
But
Batman. Like, that's
Teenage
what I'm looking
Mutant Ninja fucking Turtles. Let's
Okay,
fucking do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Let's do it.
It's a weird premise with the sewers and shit.
But they in the very first fucking Turtles comic, because it's this black and white piece of shit from the 80s. It was a joke. It's a parody of Daredevil. That's where the Turtles came from. So you know the thing that strikes Daredevil in the eyes and blinds him. These boys were like, well, what if it fell on down the sewer and made turtles into ninjas? But it's actually a bit more dark because I think Splinter's not about, and they're trying to find the guy that fucking killed him, and they're going to murder him for their master's honor. So there wasn't a kids fucking comic, like.
Yeah, it's gritty.
Yeah.
So they're not going to have that game. It's not going to have help.
But imagine it, like.
Reminds me of the Mask comic. No,
Is it?
Oh my god, yeah, that's it.
I should definitely get that.
Like that one, the very first graphic, it's a good few graphic novels, but I got the very first one in the house, and it's follows the story of Danny Kiss Arm, the detective and stuff, and what it focuses on a few different characters the Mask goes between.
Nice.
But it still has the out there cartoony sort of style, but it's fucking violent and it's not for kids at all. Like, originally they were planning the movie to be more like that, but then they want to get Jim Carrey more fully than money. They're like, right, Jim Carrey, get more kids on board here, like, you know.
Well, thank God they did.
Because I love the Mask movie. Looking back, I watched the Mask first and then read the comic years later. And again, it exists. It's like the same thing as going back to the Harry Potter argument. It don't exist on its own sort of thing. Like the I love to see the Mask gritty on screen though. Full on rated R.
I think that's if they were ever going to do it again with the property they own, that intellectual property, like it's going to have to go this way. Okay, well then we've got Daredevil to look at and go, that's how successful it can be when you can let it be what it was or what it is meant to be.
It was dark.
And it's pretty good. Daredevil, if anyone, not Daredevil, sorry, Deadpool, if anyone hasn't seen.
We haven't seen Deadpool.
It's fucking lethal. Like, yeah, I don't know what you're waiting for.
The R-rated Daredevil show is fucking great as well.
It's not. What's that?
The Netflix Daredevil.
No, and it looks good. It looks really good.
It is
worth it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
The first season certainly is very good. First half of season 2 is immense.
Someone
loses the run of itself a wee bit, but It's
But the trailers for it, like just the ones you see when you're flicking through it. And you don't even need to see what you're like. Oh yeah, I'll get to it. Don't worry, I'll get to it.
But when you're ready, do it. Love it.
Yeah.
But I tell you what hasn't come up here tonight, and that's been the fucking biggest bit of fucking nerd news for me, is that Netflix acquired the rights to Miller World, which is Mark Miller's own comic universe. So Miller wrote Civil War, rewrote the Fantastic Four, wrote the Ultimates, which is what all the Marvel Cinematic Universe is based off.
Yeah.
It was a reboot of the Avengers.
Oh, I know.
So then he was like, I'm not getting any money from this shit. So that's when he started. He wrote Kick-Ass. He wrote fucking this thing called Super Crooks, so this is the sort of shit that Netflix now can make either live action movies or TV shows, or fucking they can do whatever. They can release it in the cinemas. They own the property. So he's got one called American Jesus or something like this, right? And it's about a fucking kid, and all this shit starts, and it turns out that he's the second coming, right? And it builds to this comic, and it's like this kid's getting pulled out of his daily life and all. And then at the end, this fucking sect come and take him away, and it's like, right, you're the second coming, I'll have to take you to meet your father. But it turns out he's actually the second coming of the devil. Oh, yes! So that needs to be made. He's got one called Super Crooks, which he was simply like, he's a Scottish dude. You want to see his tweeting, like he seems like a real down to earth fucking guy for someone that writes superheroes for a living. He's always writing about going to the pub too, which I just love. He fucking humanises them like fuck. But Super Crooks, simple. Ocean's 11 with superpowers.
Oh, sweet.
You'd watch that for an hour and a half, yeah. And then he's got this unbelievable comic called Nemesis, right? And the premise of it is, what if, right, so like in fucking 90s Justice Leagues when Batman was like that many steps ahead of you, like he was nearly telepathic, like he just knew what you were going to do. And
Columbo mode.
He'd just pop up from behind where you were hiding, and just get you, like. But Mark Miller was like, well, what if the bad guy was that many steps ahead? And so it's called Nemesis, and he's this guy in a white suit, sort of a bit like a Batman suit, but it's white, like, and he's just torturing the cops, and it's one of the bloodiest comics I've ever read.
He's wearing a white suit.
Yeah.
There's blood everywhere.
There's blood everywhere, and it's just so fucking violent and great.
Sounds like the end of the Gorilla Room. Aye. That same visual, all in white, and just fucking everything's wrecked.
So yeah, that's what they've just bought themselves, like, and they can also make fucking backstories of Kick-Ass, animate that shit. That's a big purchase. Fucking well done, Netflix. Must check out some of the other shit he's written, because all of his comics are pretty much good. Like, good guy.
It's not aware of the amount they've just got themselves.
It's serious. It's a serious bit of business.
Becoming a serious competitor, like.
But they've got 20 billion worth of debt. What is that about?
What, Netflix?
I don't even know the Netflix account I use. I don't even give them a tenner a month. 10 films on sick.
What they bought that that much debt? Is it just everything they've acquired, or what?
But again, that's what they're saying. Like, they are successful, but they're acquiring more and more debt as they go along. But they're still making.
It's a model that everyone needs to just fine tune. It's the same thing when it comes to streaming sites. No, the only real model at the minute that works for streaming, especially for business, is probably just iTunes. So I don't really like going towards that. I'm more towards anything like Spotify and whatnot. But that's not keeping up. Yeah. It's just no one's really worked out fine tuning this model yet for a long time.
We're still going through that generation. We're not pure. Everything's just going. Eventually, everything's going.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be paying for one service eventually. That's a multimedia platform that we can all access. Or
should be like for
something like that. Maybe like 10, 15.
But again, that's it. My one's a Amazon Prime there as well. There's a few good things on that. There's some good original content as well. Like also here about keep trying to sit myself when I watch that Man in the High Castle.
I've watched the first.
It's meant to be good.
I watched the
Frauds is meant to be good. Preacher's meant to be good.
The Tick. Perfect.
Oh, yeah, that new anime. Not the
Peter Serafinowicz.
Yeah.
Oh, Darth Maul.
Something different.
I don't know if I pronounced the name right there. Serafinowicz.
No, you nailed it. I think. He's also the boss.
Dwayne Bensley.
He's the boss of the Pickle Rick episode.
Yes. Silencer.
Great. And he's in Guardians.
Yeah.
Everything like.
Shows up everywhere, that fella, yeah.
Well, definitely think we've covered
an
awful lot. I'm actually quite proud again because this might as well just be another shoot. It was intended to be a shoot to shit interview, but I think now this has probably turned into another episode of our sit down, shut up movie and TV reviews. So we've covered an awful lot that we haven't ourselves all caught up an awful lot to talk over another TV and films. We've sat back and watched a few different things ourselves. New stuff, old stuff. Yeah. So we have a few more things in the pipework for some other shows related to TV movies. We just want to fine tune everything before we get any more details out. So if anyone else still listening here, we're going to do things backwards here. We're just going to make sure you know who you've been listening to. So as we go along here, it's myself here, Conor McGuire, and on the left we've got
Donald Daly.
We got Niall Connell here.
And you got Decky play here also.
So if you stuck along long enough and you actually recognise the difference between our voices, fair play.
Yeah.
So everything else has been launched now through our Instagram page. So anything you want to comment on, like, share, send it through us on Instagram. We're always checking up our comments, and there's been great suggestions now for what we want to do going forward. So anything that you liked, any shows that we've captured, anything you disagree on especially as well, let us know, because we're not going to comment on, we're just going to laugh at it anyway, whether you disagree or not.
And I'm sure there's probably stuff that a lot of you people are already into that we're not covering here, and if you want us to do it, just suggest
if we're interested.
Yeah. No, I think as well, obviously something from what you've heard from us talking about, even comic wise, like Dodal and Declan's been talking a lot of back and forth, where now it's brought up a lot of things about Spaced and more along that kind of side. So anything you want to suggest to us that maybe we haven't noted about, so give us some suggestions as we go along. So thanks very much everyone for sticking out, and catch us on the next episode as we go along. So from ourselves, thanks, and Dodal.
Yeah, thanks a million. What you can suggest what you want, but I'm just going to keep watching my stuff.
Well, everyone keep your eyes peeled, because there's a lot of different things coming out. Everyone seems to be taking some identity within Red Acre at the moment, and there's a lot of great shows that's going to be coming. So
like mine,
like Dodal's,
yeah.
There's a few more as well. There's a lot of different play-by-play stuff coming up from Declan. If you want to give us a quick wee update, if you want.
Sorry to slip this in, Conor. Maybe through a cycle that is quite proper coming on. We probably will be covering Stranger Things season 2 coming up.
Oh, that's
without.
Yes.
Sweet. There's some shooting our wee Ghostbusters outfits.
I can't wait. That is definitely something that's been knocked around, but obviously we want to check it out. We'd rather talk once it's out than build up something. We can reflect on season 1, which was a great season. It's already set without a doubt. It's set the mood. So
terrified me.
If they get a solid 9, I don't think I don't know.
No, I wouldn't be overblown going to 10. It's definitely a solid 9, because there's a couple of wee instances, and again, fucking there has to be episode. The first image of the first episode should be Barb, so we know she's all right.
I should have said nothing. They're never going to get onto it.
Yeah, no.
No, you're listening to it for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
I am chill out about my 10 out of 10 for Stranger Things.
No. Well,
I go 10 out of 10 for me.
Love that shit.
Right, well, fuck you, fanboys. Right. Thanks very much, people.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Bye.